Are you looking to cop some heat on the sneaker market this month? No need to worry, because in today's video, I got you covered on all the hottest drops in June. What's going on, people of the internet? How's your quarantine going? Not gonna lie, I'm kind of over it at this point in time. I got that quarantine hair going on. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, hey, how's it going? My name's Caitlin. I make 4 videos a week. Monday and Friday are about entrepreneurship and life advice, and Tuesday and Thursday are dedicated to sneaker content. Now, I just want to clarify, I did not post on Tuesday of this week because of the Tuesday blackout that was happening on social media that I wanted to be respectful of. Anyways, let's dive into today's sneaker video. Although it may seem like a month that would never end, if you can believe it, June is finally here, and a new month brings a whole new calendar of sneaker releases. I'm looking at the drop schedule for this month, and there's quite a few drops scheduled, so I wanted to break them all down for you guys and give my thoughts and opinions on what shoes you should be after and what shoes you should sit on. Now, obviously, this video is going out on June 4th, so we're a few days late, but hey, better late to the party with fresh kicks than flopping, right? Now, I'm going to try to cover a wide variety of sneaker releases in June, because like I always say, your taste in sneakers should be defined by what you like and what your personality is, not necessarily on hype or what people tell you you should buy. So if you see a pair of kicks that you like, regardless of what kind they are, make sure you take note and go out and get them for yourself. Anyways, we're going to kick things off today with a shoe that released on June 1st, so I know I'm a little late to the party, and that's the Nike Air Trainer 3 Votech, which released in purple and gold. It's got some pretty futuristic vibes with the shoe, and the colorway really pops, and it actually kind of reminds me of the Lakers, so it's definitely a shoe that is going to stand out when you rock it. The shoe was first released in 1988, but this is the retro re-release, and honestly, it's a pretty clean shoe from Nike. Personally, I'm not really into the shoe because it's just not something I could mix into my rotation, but if it's your kind of shoe, I do believe not a lot of people are looking to scoop it up, so it should be a fairly easy cop for you. Check around, I know it's already released, so you should be able to find it online. Next, we have a few releases happening on June 5th, and we'll start with the Nike LeBron 17 Graffiti, which was actually inspired by the LeBron 4 Graffiti sneakers. Now, personally, I'm not a huge basketball fan. I'm probably even less of a LeBron fan. I do have a pair of the LeBron 12 Soldiers that I got for super cheap, but overall, I'm not a huge fan of his shoes. When it comes to this release, unless you're a fan of LeBron or you want a retro of the LeBron 4s, there isn't much to get excited about with this shoe, so it should stick around in stores and online for a hot minute, so don't go out and try to cop it right away. Just give it some time. Next up, we have the Nike KD13 in a nice red colorway. Honestly, this is a pretty decent looking colorway with the red and the black. However, it's not a shoe that I would run out and buy immediately when it drops. I feel like this could be a good everyday or a banger type of shoe for your rotation, but it's not an immediate cop by any means in my opinion. Wrapping up the June 5th releases, although I did hear a rumor that these bad boys would be delayed, is the Air Jordan 6 Neutral Gray, or for all the sneaker aficionados, the Air Jordan 6 Hair, because that's what they really are. Again, I'm not a big fan of the Jordan 6s, but if you're a fan of them or just Jordans in general, then this is a pretty solid release. Although it might not look super flashy, the colorway is actually pretty fresh and relatively minimalistic, which I always appreciate in a Jordan. The rumor behind this release is to help hype up the upcoming release of Space Jam 2, which is always sweet, and if that's the case and this shoe carries a lot of hype as the movie comes closer, this could definitely be a sleeper that turns out to be a pretty hot sneaker in the future. Like I said, it's a pretty fresh looking sneaker, has some ties to Space Jam 2 and Bugs Bunny, and will likely win the hearts of any Air Jordan 7 Hair lovers, so this is a shoe that will likely move pretty quickly when it drops and is definitely worth a cop if you're into Space Jam or just Jordan 6s or Jordan brand in general. Quickly, I want to touch on the Dru League Air Force 1s, which is just a simple, clean, and minimalistic looking Air Force 1 for all those looking to add this classic shoe with a little bit of a twist. Honestly, there isn't much that makes the shoe stand out. It's just your classic Air Force 1, but hey, if you want to add a little bit of a different version to your Air Force 1, step your game out a little bit, differentiate from the crowd, this is a great shoe for you to add, and it'll be relatively cheap, and it should be easy to cop. Now we gotta flip the switch and give some love to Adidas with the Dame 6 in leather, which is supposedly a luxury remake of the original Dame 6. I know I just talked about showing Adidas some love, but honestly, I'm not sure why they're remaking the Dame 6s. This is just like an absolute throwaway of a release, and I feel like this is a shoe that is gonna sit for a long time. I know for sure I would not be rocking it, so unless you're a big fan of the Dame 6s or really into leather running shoes, there's really no need to run out and cop them. They will sit. They're probably going to go on sale. Next up, we have the Jordan Delta SP in black. Now, the Jordan Delta is actually a really interesting new shoe from Nike. The tan or the white pair that dropped a little while back had a lot of people drawing comparisons to the highly coveted Mars Yard. I know a lot of people were calling it the poor man's version of the much more expensive Mars Yard, so if that's a shoe that you missed out on like a lot of people did, this is definitely a shoe that's worth taking a look at if you can find it. However, the black version that's releasing in June is honestly not nearly as nice. But overall, in terms of aesthetic, it's not doing much for me and a lot of people out there compared to the other ones. I would highly suggest you try to find the lighter tan white version that look like the Mars Yard that released earlier, because that's a much better looking shoe, and if it's just as comfortable, then get those. As for the black pair, they're probably going to sit for a while, so no need to rush out and go cop them. Next up, we have the Jordan 3 Animal Instinct 2.0. This is another one from the Animal Instinct drop that features more animal skin for whatever reason. I really don't understand the hype or the reasoning behind this shoe for Air Jordan, and I know the first shoe didn't sell out right away, so I have a feeling this bad boy is also going to sit, as the colorway isn't even as good as the last one. Of course, if you're really into this shoe, then that is totally cool. At least this one doesn't have fur on them. So if you're into that, go cop them. Where in the world are all the good shoes releasing in June? Sneaker gods, what have we done? I know the world's a mess. We need some heat to come. We're going to head back to Adidas with the Adidas 4D Run 1.0, which is honestly a really decent 4D shoe. I love the look of the 3D printed midsole, and this is a pretty nice futuristic shoe, as Adidas seems to be moving in the direction of 4D sneakers. So this is definitely a good futuristic shoe that you should cop for your collection. Now, it's not going to sell out super quick, as there are better looking ones that Adidas already has. So if you want a pair of the 4D futuristic looking bad boys, then I would suggest looking and waiting for a nicer shoe to go on sale. But if you just want an overall 4D futuristic shoe, then definitely consider picking this one up. The colorway is just a little bit bland for me, so it's not something that I would want in my rotation. Next, we're going to stick with Adidas with the Adidas Parler Ultra Boost, releasing in both the black and the white colorway. One of the really cool things about the shoe is the organization Parler is actually working to clean up the ocean and have partnered with Adidas to reuse some of the plastic from the ocean in the shoes. Of course, this is a classic Ultra Boost shoe with the comfy Ultra Boost bottom, and it looks pretty similar to a really rare Ultra Boost from 2017, which may drive a lot of the hype around the shoe. Overall, this is an extremely clean looking shoe. It has a cool environmental angle. The Ultra Boosts are one of the comfiest kicks in my mind, so this is definitely a shoe that might be worth copping on release. It's one that I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on. Now for this next one, we're going to flip back to Nike, and Nike, I love your shoes, but with this release, I'm just honestly not sure. I am pretty darn torn. On June 11th, although that could get delayed, we have 3 different pairs of the new Nike Space Hippie dropping. Those bad boys, of course, are the Space Hippie 01, 02, 03, and 04. Yes, I'm not kidding. That is the name. Nike marketing team maybe could up their game a little bit on those names. Just saying. Much like the bad boys from Adidas we just talked about, these are also an environmental shoe made with as much as 50% recycled material, and it's no coincidence in my mind they're releasing a day after the Adidas ones are. These are definitely an interesting looking shoe and a bit of a new look for Nike, but personally I'm really torn. I think they are some of the worst looking sneakers that have released in a while. Outside of the 03 Space Hippie, I think all of these shoes are a miss personally, but I know there's a lot of people that are kind of really into them, so if this is your thing, or if you're looking for something different in Nike to go in your collection, then you could probably hop on these. Personally, I'm probably going to sit for a while, see if I can find a pair at a retail store later, because I think there is going to be some hype, but I don't think they're going to sell out. So yeah, if you want something from Nike that's a little bit different than their more traditional model, something rare, then maybe this, because who knows where they'll go in recycled material in the future. But overall, it's a pass for me on the Space Hippies. Next up, we finally have a women's exclusive drop with the Air Jordan 1 High in tie-dye. I always get a little excited when a shoe only releases in women's sizes, because it means there's a little bit of hope for us ladies to scoop up a pair. The tie-dye looks like a pretty retro kind of shoe, and the tie-dye trend right now is super hot, so this is a really dope release from Nike. Personally, it's not really my style that I would rock on the regular, but it's a pretty unique look for the Air Jordan 1 and a hot trend, so this is likely to be a really hot sneaker that sells out. The shoe looks dope. Honestly, it's just not something I would rock personally, but if you're an Air Jordan 1 fan, a tie-dye, or you want to hop in on that women's exclusive, there will be a chance for men to get them too, obviously. But they're only releasing in the women's sizes, so some of the bigger sizes won't be available. But honestly, kudos to Nike. This is a dope looking Air Jordan 1. Cashing in on that tie-dye trend, so this is definitely a shoe that I would suggest you go out and cop if you want it, and if you feel like you can work it into your rotation. Next up, we have the Nike Kyrie 6 Neon Graffiti, which has some nice neon branding and colorway to it. Now, when you look at a lot of the other Kyrie shoes out there, this is a pretty classic look for them, so this isn't going to be anything really out there or different or a hot colorway. I just feel like it's a type of shoe you're going to see in a lot of those back-to-school type of videos, because it has kids vibes written all over it. If you're looking for a bright and funky shoe to to add to your rotation, then you should have no problem copying these bad boys. They're definitely out there. They're definitely retro. They're definitely going to turn some heads, but honestly, it's a pass for me. Moving right along, Nike is coming in hot with the Nike Dunk Low in University Red. If you haven't noticed yet, 2020 certainly seems to be the year of the dunks for Nike. They've had a lot of red hot releases that have been selling out immediately, and I expect this shoe to be the exact same. What I really like about the shoe, as well as some of the other dunk releases, is how clean and fresh they look. Nike has done a great job in this shoe to make it look like a classic Nike Dunk from back in the day, and I have a feeling that this colorway is going to be extremely popular, as most red and white colorways tend to be. I have yet to hop on the dunk trend, but this is definitely a shoe that I'm going to try to cop, and if anyone out there wants to help your girl out, I wear a size 7 men's or 8 women's. Hit your girl up. I want to hop on the dunk trend. Love red shoes, so this is a shoe that I am definitely going to try to cop, and I'd recommend you do as well. Dunk hype is real. They're classic, they're fresh, they're dope sneakers. We're back with another Jordan release. We have the Air Jordan 5 Alternate Great. This shoe is pretty fresh with a nice purple suede, but it just doesn't seem to mesh well together for me. I think the purple is a little too subtle for the shoe, but if you're looking for Jordan 5, then this is definitely a shoe that you could cop. It kind of looks cool, but personally I just think the suede is a little overwhelming. Continuing with the Air Jordan 5 trend, we have the Air Jordan 5 Top 3, which if you don't know, is when they combine 3 of the most popular Jordan 5 colorways into one shoe. This is basically a color mashup of the top 3 Air Jordan 5 colorways, but it doesn't seem to have its own Air Jordan 5 kind of lane because of how it resembles so many of the other Jordan 5 colorways. Personally, I have a pair of Jordan 5s that I picked up at a Nike outlet that is not a staple in my rotation. I don't really rock it, so this is not a shoe that I am really hype on, and I don't think it's a shoe that is going to sell out immediately because, like I said, it's a combination of sneaker colorways. It doesn't have its own lane, so I feel like people aren't really going to identify with it strongly. If you already have a pair of Air Jordan 5s in one of the 3 colorways that you rock, that you like, then honestly you do not need the top 3 color mashup. Of course, we have to have a Yeezy release, and we finally have the Boost 350 V2 Zion, which was pushed back from last month. In terms of Yeezy 350s, you kind of know what you're getting at this point. It's got a basic light brown kind of upper, which is a decent colorway for 350 V2, and I feel like it would be pretty easy to rock with a lot of different outfits. As a Yeezy, I feel like these are going to be pretty hot. I'm not a big Yeezy fan, but if this rocks your boat, then definitely hop on the train. It's a nice kind of chill colorway. There's not going to be a hype release with it, but it's going to be a nice V2. So yeah, if that's kind of what you're after, it's going to be easy to rock with a lot of outfits, so feel free to cop it. Now we're going to stick with the Yeezy releases with the Adidas Yeezy Quantum Basketball, which is obviously the basketball version of the Quantum Yeezy. This is a new dark green colorway, and honestly, I'm not a fan of it at all, but because it's a Yeezy, I know it's going to come with a lot of hype and it's going to sell out pretty quickly. Now we have our second pair of LeBron 17s coming out in June. This version is a basic LeBron 17 low with a classic black and white colorway with a LeBron logo embroidered on the back. It's a pretty simple low LeBron 17 that should be pretty easy to cop because there's not going to be a lot of hype, and you should find it at some outlets in no time. We have another Air Max 90 Duck Camo releasing in the orange colorway. We've already seen 2 major releases of these, both of which I believe sold out immediately, so I imagine these will as well. Personally, again, not my style, but might be worth a cop if you're looking to resell them for a nice profit, or if you're into this kind of series of Air Max 90s. Next, we'll touch really quickly on a shoe that is highly rumored to be dropping in June, but not officially confirmed yet, but a shoe that is going to be a nice Air Jordan 1, which is the Air Jordan 1 Mocha. Again, it's not confirmed to be dropping, but it is a fairly nice looking Jordan 1 that won't have a ton of hype behind it and should be a pretty easy cop for all the Air Jordan 1 fans out there. It's nice, it's clean, it's fresh, a little bit of a different colorway. I love coffee, so the fact that it's a mocha colorway is dope, so I will try to scoop this bad boy up. Again, there's not going to be a ton of hype behind. Next, we're going back to the Yeezys with the Yeezy Blue Oat, which is supposedly releasing in a full family size, which leads one to believe that the stock on these is going to be pretty high, making them relatively easy to cop for Yeezy. This is a really unique colorway and look for Yeezy, but I don't see the hype behind it, and I don't see them selling out as they're less popular than the last colorway they released that didn't sell out. So honestly, this is probably going to be a Yeezy that sits. We're going to hop back on the Nike Dunk hype. We have the University Orange Dunks, which are the 3rd pair in the series. They're retailing for $100, which is really dope, and they are really similar to the off-white pair that already released, so if you're looking for a much cheaper pair of Dunks, then this should be a good cop for you. They look dope. There's going to be a decent amount of hype behind them because 2020 is the year of the Dunks, but yeah, like I said, they look dope. They're fresh. Should be a fairly easy cop. I know there's going to be a lot of hype, but if you keep your eyes peeled, you should be able to nab them. Another upcoming release from Jordan Jordan is the Jordan 11 Low Bread Concord, where Jordan just basically combined two of the beloved colorways for this colorway baby. I feel like this is going to be a really hit or miss shoe. On first glance, I would probably sit on them, but if you see them later at an outlet store or on sale, then definitely consider picking them up. It would not hurt to have them as a pair of everyday Jordan. Y'all, I never thought I would say this, but I'm freaking tired of talking about shoes. June is going to be a busy month filled with a lot of mediocre drops in my opinion. There's a couple of hot ones coming down the pipe, but overall, unless you can score on a big drop or one of the smaller releases, I would recommend sitting and saving your money for some future months where the drops are going to be much bigger and better. I do apologize for not being too hype on a lot of the sneakers that are releasing. There's definitely a couple that I think are dope, like both pairs of the Dunks, a couple of the Jordan 1s, but overall, like I said, June is just a month that is kind of a miss for me, and I'm not going to get my hopes too high on most of the releases. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's your guys' opinion? What are you looking for in June? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to know what you are looking for, what pairs of kicks in June you are hyped and excited about. Now, I just want to clarify, with everything going on in the world right now, all the craziness, a lot of the releases for June are being pushed back, which is why I didn't really cover a lot of exact release dates, because a lot of them are being pushed back weeks, if not months. There was a shoe that I was going to cover that has already been pushed back to July, so the sneaker world's a little bit up in the air right now because of all the turmoil and everything going on. Totally understandable. There are more important things going on in the world right now than sneakers, but just keep your eyes out for any of the pairs on the list that we talked about today that you might be looking for. They will be releasing either a couple weeks late or even a month or two late. There's just a lot going on. Anyways, it looks like that is all the time we have on today's video. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. It really means a lot to me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video where I broke down some of the hottest releases coming in the sneaker world in the month of June. Let me know what you're excited to cop and what you're just going to take that L on. You're just going to miss. You're just going to throw in the towel down in the comments below. I would love to know. Tell me what maybe I missed, or if there's a shoe that I didn't like that you're hype on. Let me know why you're hype on it down in the comments below. And if you guys really enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button. YouTube loves it when you like videos. And then make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the family. We're new here on YouTube, but hey, we got some big plans and we're hoping to make some videos and just grow the community. As always, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Truly means a lot to me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.